You could see Sandy Alomar Jr. immediately jump up and tell him to stay back and settle down.
Called strike.
Wright also throws a slider. He's been working on a curve and a change, but his fastball and the movement on his fastball is his key. And he's going to have to try to stay away from these left-handed Yankee hitters.
2-1 pitch, chopped towards first, foul ball.
And let's take a look at the defense behind Jared Wright. They have a Gold Glove winner at shortstop. I mean, look at that. No errors in 40 postseason games. He is a wonderful shortstop, and you'll get a chance to see a guy play shortstop. A lot of people compare him to the great Ozzie Smith. In fact, Mike Hargrove said he's better than Ozzie Smith. I'm not going that far yet.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. A line drive toward right center field that falls for a hit. The top of the Yankee order, Knobloch and Jeter, very quiet against Texas. In fact, a combined 1 for 20, but Knobloch starts this series with a single to right.
And this is more like Chuck Knobloch from Minnesota. See, this pitch is up and in. He just kind of fights it off to right field. You see, the target was away, but he got the ball over the middle of plate and in, and he just fought it off to right field. That's Chuck Knobloch at his best. And
foul back 0-2. He beat Andy Pettitte twice last year in the division series, Game 2 and the clincher in Game 5 as Cleveland beat the Yanks and eventually moved on to the World Series. Wright, as you may recall, got the ball in Game 7 against the Marlins and pitched very well through 7 innings. No decision for him, and eventually the Indians lost a heartbreaker in extra innings in Game 7 and still haven't won a World Series since 1948. High 1-2.
One of the reasons that it's easy to get a good jump off of a guy like Jared Wright is all power pitchers have to gather their momentum and get behind the fastball, so it takes them a little longer to deliver the ball to the plate.
Not going. Line drive, 5 is scaled for a base hit. Knobloch had to wait. He'll stop at second. The 1-2. And it holds there. Jared Wright was knocked around by the Red Sox in his division series start. Boston won that first game, but Cleveland rallied to win the next 3.
Well, Mo Vaughn hit a 3-run homer off of him in the first inning in a similar situation to this. The first 2 hitters were on, and he hit a 3-run home run. Another 1-2 pitch. Outside. Well, that tells you a lot about Jared Wright, and you can see the problems he's having here in the first inning. Sometimes it takes pitchers an inning or 2 to get into their rhythm. Mark Wiley, their pitching coach, charting the pitches. And a full count to O'Neill. Wright is perhaps the least popular opponent in the Yankee clubhouse. He hit Luis Sojo with a pitch in a spring training game, and Sojo broke his left hand trying to get it up to protect his face. And he hit this batter, Paul O'Neill, with a pitch in June. There's Sojo. Wright claims it was unintentional. Hargrove says it's overblown. Torrey actually agrees with Hargrove, at least publicly. But many Yankees feel differently. The 3-2 pitch. The runner's break. And a line drive to right for a base hit. Here comes Knobloch, waves home. On his way to third, Jeter, 1-0 New York. Now Bernie Williams in a good spot to bust loose. 6 for his last 50 in the playoffs and World Series. Ball 1. You have to throw the breaking ball if you're Jared Wright just to show them a different speed. But so far, he has not been able to get that pitch over the plate. So if you're a hitter, you just put it in the back of your mind and say, hey, he has one, but he can't get it over. I'm sitting on nothing but a fastball. So you have to get ahead in the count instead of pitching from behind in the count with the fastball.
The 1-0 pitch hit up the middle. Williams with an RBI, 4 straight singles. Jeter comes across, 2-0 New York. Bernie Williams, the American League batting champion at .339, with his first hit of this postseason, and this is 12th at bat.
Well, he misses with the breaking pitch, so all Bernie Williams is looking for is a fastball, and he is a good low fastball hitter. Low fastball out over the plate. He rips it right back through the middle for a base hit. He extends out and just drives it back through the middle.
Takes a ball. He hit .281 and led the Yankees in the power categories of home runs and RBIs. In this season, when 34 major leaguers hit 30 or more home runs, the Yankees, baseball's best team, didn't have one of them. Their top home run hitter hit 28. But as a team, they hit 207. So well balanced. Martinez gets ahead on the count, 2-0. Look at that. Dangerous sticks almost everywhere. No one overpowering guy, but almost everyone can hurt you at one time or another. Martinez can afford to sit on one here. And a slow bouncer, charging it is Cora. The flip to Vizquel and on to first, not in time. And the Yankees have runners at the corners with 1 out.
And a good base running play there by Bernie Williams. If he would have continued to move, Cora could have tagged him and then threw the first base. Bernie Williams stopped, so Cora had no choice but to take the runner at second base.
Thinking about Hargrove's pitching, Bartolo Colon, the hard-throwing right-hander, made the All-Star team, faltered in the season's second half. Dave Burba came over from Cincinnati in 1-15 and saved them out of the bullpen in Cleveland in the division series against the Red Sox. We mentioned O.J. in and out of the rotation. Dwight Gooden is scheduled to pitch Game 4 of the series in Cleveland. So they don't really have an ace. They have a number of guys who are capable of turning in a good ball game for them, but no one they can absolutely count on. The 2-1 pitch. In the seats, 2-2. The Yankees have the 2 switch-hitting veterans as their DHs, Tim Raines and Chili Davis. The reason Raines gets the start tonight is that Torrey feels he's a better high fastball hitter than Davis, and thus has a better chance of hitting Jarrett Wright. There's Chili.
I would probably agree with that, except Chili Davis usually makes good adjustments and doesn't swing at the high fastball.
Still 2-2. O'Neill is at third. Martinez is at first. 1 out and 2 runs home in the bottom of the first. 2-0 New York.
A lot of pitches in here in the first inning.
That's been the book on Wright. Try and make him go deep into counts. And obviously that's happened in this first inning. Full count.
See, when you go to 3 balls and 2 strikes on the Yankees, they make you pay for that. They will, hit and run continually in this situation. If you go 3-2, you should make things happen on the 2-2 pitch. And obviously wasn't trying to throw a ball, but you have to make sure that's the pitch that you make him put the ball in play on. And you see Sandy Alomar trying to decide, he wants to know from Mike Hargrove whether he's throwing through or not on a swing and a miss, or whether he's going to hold the ball or throw to third base. You have 3 or 4 different plays with a runner breaking and runners at first and third.
Shane Spencer is on deck. Martinez goes. Raines swings and misses. Alomar bluffs the throw. They concede the stolen base. Runners at second and third as Raines strikes out, and here comes Spencer. Wright works to him. And there's a strike. against Cleveland this year. All this in September. Spencer 8 for 11 with 3 home runs. Fastball high. That's dizzying. Ahead of both McGuire and Ruth, and for that matter, Maris, Sosa, and Aaron at this early stage.
And thousands of others.
And everybody else, I guess. It gets away from Alomar. Here comes O'Neill. And it's 3-0 New York. On to third goes Martinez.
Bob, and this ball bounces. It's a slider in the dirt. It appears that Alomar gets down on it, but somehow it finds its way between his legs. You can see it dropped to his knees, but the ball went right between his legs. Watch, he drops down, but the ball bounces right between his legs, and it gets away and a run scored. That's the other reason you just cannot let a guy run down to second base, especially a guy like Tino Martinez who doesn't run that well. You should be able to throw him out anytime on a hit and run.
Scored a wild pitch. And now Wright falls behind 3-1. Posada will be next if the inning is prolonged. And it is as Spencer walks. When the Yankees talk about Wright possibly being a headhunter, and I emphasize that's not a unanimous opinion, but some Yankees feel that way, then this stat is relevant. He hit 11 batters this year. But for perspective, David Cohn of the Yankees hit 15. Line drive, base hit. Posada comes through, and it's 4-0. Spencer to third as Martinez scores. The 5th single of the inning, and here comes Hargrove. He had 3 different stints on the disabled list. When he's right, he can be tough. Took something off, and it's 0-2.
And this is one thing that you did not want to happen if you're the Cleveland Indians coming into Yankee Stadium, facing maybe the best team in baseball, and falling behind in the first inning. Because it's not that it hurts you so much, but it just adds to the Yankee mystique and gives them more confidence as they go along. I mean, they think they're invincible at this point, and someone's going to have to prove that they are not before you can make a dent into this division series. Paul O'Neill had an RBI single in this inning. Later scored a run. 2 on, 2 out on the 0-2 pitch. Misses. Trying to put a finish to the New York first. But not so fast. It's Brocious with a base hit. That makes it 5-0. Well, Bob, maybe they are invincible. I mean, you make a mistake and they make you pay for it. He got ahead of Brocious 0-2. Now watch this. He ends up throwing a hanging curveball, and Brocious ripped it to left field. Look at that, a hanging breaking ball. So, I mean, you have to give the Yankees credit. They take advantage when you make a mistake. That's a high breaking ball. He hits it down the left field line for a base hit. It's 5-0.
During the regular season, they scored 965 runs and allowed the opposition 656. You figure it out. It's unheard of to outscore your opponents by an average of 2 runs per game. That's almost ridiculous. Hit towards short. Vizquel shovels it over to Cora, and finally they're out of it. But not before the Yankees score 5. And with Wells on the mound in their bullpen, that looks awfully big.